Welcome back to part 3 of our interview with Gabriella Ribeiro Truman, where she tells us why you should always put yourself first, even in business, and why getting up early could be the key to your success. Don't go anywhere. Part 3 is just around the corner.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. Let's talk about one thing that 10 years ago, you didn't really do it that well, but now you actually do it quite well. What could you have done a little bit better 10 years ago?
Saying no. I in the last couple of weeks, I've told people I'm refining the hard no, put it that way. People who just say, no, this isn't for me, or no, I'm not going to do this. And that relates back to certain projects that you take on for just because your client asks you to, or things like this. In the past, I was always willing to do everything just because I wanted to please everybody. And I've become less of a people pleaser. Yes. Not in a mean way, just kind of okay, I count too. I think that's all it is. You know what I mean? Because I've been very much like that, even in my marriage, which is no longer now, but, very much like pleasing everybody else and me never coming first.
Yeah.
And I think there comes a time, especially when you're a business owner, we say, okay, you know what? I'm part of this equation. When you hire me, it's a relationship. And we have to work together, and I have to set my boundaries. So, yeah, I'm working on it. It's a daily struggle.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I always start off when I'm onboarding a new client, and we're going through different things. I say, all right, I want you to imagine that you just walked into a room, and your two top most important clients are in the room. Who's the most important person there? Bob, I really like him, and Sally. And then I said, they like both. I'm like, no, you got to pick one. You got to pick somebody. And they go, okay, Bob. I'm like, it's you. You're the most important person in the room. And they said, well, I don't know if I really, if that's really true. I said, okay, 2 people have to die. Is it going to be you and one of your clients, or is it going to be the 2 clients?
Those are tough ones. Yeah,
I know, right?
I want to be onboarded by you.
Right, yeah, exactly. But the point is, we all have to, and I love what you said, that you have stopped pleasing others. And as soon as you do that, it is so liberating. It is so freeing, because when you make yourself the most important person in the room, who do you serve better? You serve
everyone around you.
You serve everybody around you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When you're on a plane, and if it loses cabin pressure, they don't say, okay, make sure you put the mask on your child first, okay? And then take care of yourself. No, you got to take care of yourself first, because you're going to be passed out by the time you get the oxygen on the child. So we got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, and you also realize, I think, the older that you get, there are some people, and this is whether it's in your personal life or business life, there are some people that are truly unpleasable.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And, you try, and I'm the type of person that, if I see that in someone, I'm going to try harder. And then sometimes you just sit back and you say, you know what, they're never going to be happy. So, let me just do what I have to do.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a ploy for them trying to get what they want. It's worked for them in the past, so it's something that they do. I remember a mentor telling me that he was in the cable business, and his partner, no matter what deal was presented, he'd always let the other person talk. And it didn't matter what deal didn't matter. It did not matter. As soon as the other person said what the deal was, he would let out something like, ooh, ooh. And that's all he would do. He was just kind of moan there. And they would look at him like, he didn't say yes. He didn't say no. He didn't say anything. All he just started is just like he was in agony. And then they're like, well, we could actually probably do something different. And then he'd go, okay. And then they would say that, and he'd
He had an art. Yeah.
Yeah, because it worked for him, right? And some people just use that, use it as a tactic. We all have daily habits. Some good habits, some not so good habits. What are some of the daily habits that support you? One of them was, you said you get up early.
Getting up early, that's always been for years and years and years. That's been a huge thing for me. And I sometimes I'm really good at it. Sometimes I not so great, but exercise.
Yeah.
Is a big deal for me. I've always had weight issues, problems with my weight, up and down, up and down. So it's just become like a thing. Like it's no longer an option. It's something I have to do, just physically in a vanity standpoint. And then I realized how much it was helping me focus, or that I felt like I accomplished something. So like when it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I've already done, a spin class, and I've done, a bit of work, and I've caught up, and I've had it's 6 o'clock in the morning and I feel like a rock star. So I'm like, I've done this already. Now I can actually go and do the things that are more important to me, like, being with my daughter, or, being on the phone for meaningful calls with clients and how to build business, or talking to my team, those things. And I think learning how to go more with the flow, like things are going to happen. Shit is going to happen. And you're never going to know, especially when you're an entrepreneur, one day to the next, you could lose a client out of nowhere. Someone could go bankrupt. Like it could be totally nothing to do with you. Yeah. And you have to just keep it moving. That's the thing. A lot of people tend to get upset and they want to shut down. So my thing is, it's like a shark. Keep moving. Yeah. Don't stop.
Yeah, that is so important to keep moving. And as you move, even if you're not moving in the right direction, the view changes and there's momentum. There's getting stuck. I'll work with someone and they're like, I'm really stuck, and we're sitting down at a table. I'm like, well, let's move. He goes, yeah. What do you mean, let's move? I was like, you said you're stuck. Well, I see. You're not moving. You're sitting down. Let's move. And they're like, huh? I was like, let's just walk around the table. I said, you're no longer stuck. You're moving. He goes, yeah, but I still have my problem. But I said, yeah, but we've made some progress. You're no longer stuck. And you actually start to feel better when you actually just get up and move. And I love And I love what you said about the energy, too. We spend a lot of time with our clients on energy and nutrition and fitness. And the reason is that if you are falling asleep at your desk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you can't get things done. You need energy.
And I have my days. Like, some days I can't sleep and I'm up binge watching series till 3 a.m, and it happens. You know? Or but I think also it's keep it moving, but also I think what's important too is like, don't be a machine. You know what I mean? Like I cry all the time. I'm like, there are some days where I'm just like, oh my God, I can't take it. And I'm just in tears the whole day. I'm in the supermarket, I'm in tears, but I'm feeling it. And that's the thing. You're keeping moving, but not at the expense of blocking things out. You want to feel it, you want to have a good cry, you want to call it, do it. Yeah. And then, get back. And you're going to be fine, but if you don't do something exactly what you said, whether it's physical moving or letting an emotional release, or you need to be processing these things and just say, okay, you know what, tomorrow, let me tell you something, the sun's coming out tomorrow. Okay? And you know what, I'm going to get back on the computer or make some phone calls and I'm going to fix this.
Yeah. We're called human beings for a reason, not human doers.
Exactly. And you have to let yourself feel. That's a big mistake people make. And then they get all caught up and then they have breakdowns. It's like me now. I just let it all out. Have a good cry, have a rant, and then get back on the horse.
There's an entrepreneur up by you, Gary Vaynerchuk from Jersey, that, talk about energy. That guy is just nonstop.
He's got some energy.
Yes, he does. Love his message or not, you need energy in order to produce results. So,
whatever works for you in that space, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. He's got it, and I see so many people trying to imitate his style. It's not his style, just who he is. You got to do you.
Exactly.
Well, this has been absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate your time. I love what you're doing with the 48-hour jaunt. And tell the audience how they can get a hold of you.
We're on 48hourpowerjaunt.com or exploratorjourneys.com. I'm at the Explorator, really everywhere, Twitter, Instagram, and whatever. It's at THEXPLORATEUR. Sorry. And I'm just always a tweet or an email or a phone call away. So
terrific.
Would love to chat travel.
Now, give me 2 of your favorite places to visit in the world.
Okay. Get asked this like every day of my life.
Of course.
Portugal is number 1. I'm half Portuguese. I grew up traveling there all the time. And I go as often as I can now. It's just one of those places that is like Europe as it once was. very, very similar. Like when I go back, a lot of the beaches that I remember from when I was a child, they look the same. There's not a lot of, there's growth, but it's very measured, and everything's still, there's still that charm. I'd put it that way. So it's just one of those under the radar countries that has everything: pitch perfect weather, beaches, great food, all of that, and it means something to me. And then I'm huge on South Africa. Absolutely huge. I think any trip to almost anywhere in Africa will change your life. Guaranteed, actually. And I've just had so many blessed experiences in South Africa in particular, with people I've met, connections I've made, amazing things that have happened to me. So it's been a very, very soulful place for me.
Yeah, it's funny. I have a very extensive passport with lots of stamps in it, and you named 2 places that I have not been to. So that's encouraging.
Hopefully I convinced you.
So Portugal, if I was going to go any time of year, what time of year is not, the place is not packed out, but the weather's beautiful and it's not, crickets. There's life is still happening around you.
I always love going in the summer. It's to your point before. It's like August, everybody's out. So there are tourists there, but it doesn't feel like it. It's such an under the radar country. So it's not a place that's completely overrun. There are no it's not like a Cancun style beach atmosphere where you've got hotel, and everybody's crazy.
Right.
It's just, you've got these remote areas. There's so many areas along the coast from north to south for a small country that you can visit and never feel crowded, even in the summer. So you've got the best weather there, and to really a lack of ridiculous hordes of people. So anytime you want to go is good, but if you can totally go there in the summer and not feel crazy like you are there in the summer.
All right. I got my 2018 list done. I actually
there you go.
August, I have Burning Man on my list. So.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I can't compete with that one.
No, well, it's just a different experience, right? So I will, I'll get it on for July. Terrific.
Fabulous.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin. Click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.